name is Daniel Adam Fink. Thank you for viewing this first presentation on my YouTube channel. I have found the locations of several hundred place names which had been missing from the Bible. In this first video, I will introduce my methods so that you can understand the process and be certain that these names are accurate. In this video, I will be introducing two types of place names. One are cognates. So consider Texas and Texas. Texas and Texas being the same name. They sound similar, but they are in two different languages, English and Spanish. This is how I found many of the names in the Bible. In this case, the languages are Greek and Hebrew or Aramaic. The other way that I have found names as presented in this video are simply by looking up the meaning of the root word and finding where that root word is found on the map. For example, I will be showing you Aram. In Genesis 10, there are 4 provinces of Aram. And as you can see in the bullets, 2 of the 4 Aramaean provinces were known. This is the farthest north province and the farthest south province, leaving only 2 remaining. The other 2 are in between the furthest north and the furthest south, making their locations easy to find. One name is a cognate that was the same name in 2 languages, and the other name is the meaning of the word root. I'm going to give a nutshell explanation of Aram. I have further videos which give greater evidence. Top left corner is a map of West Asia from 1901. Bottom left corner is a blow-up of the region of Aram. So we have 4 names in there. 2 are in boxes with solid lines. 2 are in boxes with dashed lines. The solid lines are the known provinces. If you would, please look at the center of this slide. We have Genesis 10:23, Aram, a list of 4 names. Number 1, Oats. Number 2, Hul. Number 3, Gatter. And number 4, Mas. So going to the first one, Oats is a cognate. I will explain that in a moment. Let's go to number 2, Orange. Hul is known. And now please look at the bottom left corner map again. Look for the word in the orange box just down and south of the center of the map. You see Hul. Then you see an orange arc underneath the word Kirla, Syria. So Kirla is the part of Syria. Kirla is a Greek pronunciation of Hul because they did not have chet in their language. That is one of the 2 known provinces. And now let's go past Gatter to the 4th in the green rectangle at the top right corner of the same map. Mas is named for a mountain, Mas, Masius. As Greeks are so fond of adding an S at the end of names like Perseus and Hercules, they added a us at the end of Mas, making it Masius. This is agreed upon by scholars already. So we have the bottom and top corners of Aram with only 2 names in between. That makes them quite easy to understand. Now the first name, Oats, that's the red dashed line box. Below that is a red arc with the word Os, Reina. Reina being kingdom, so the kingdom of Os is Oats. Oats is Os, Os is Oats. That is a very simple cognate. Like Zion in Hebrew is Zion, the TS is often spelled in error with a Z in English, making words difficult to find in English. This is why I pronounce everything in Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic as much as I can. So now we see the first province, Oats, which is the very center of Aram. Oats is the place where Abraham migrates from, where Jacob travels to for a wife, and where Job is from, so it's the most important province. It's interesting how this province had been unknown for so many centuries, and now you can see how easy it is to understand. Last we have province 3, Gatter. So the other province between Chul, Oats, and Mas is Gatter. Gat means wine press. All you have to do is find the wine to find Gatter. The map on the right, as you can see at the top of the map, is a map of ancient wine sites. This is a map which shows where wild grapes grow, and the province where they grow in Aram is Gatter. It's just that simple. Anyone can understand biblical geography. It's never a reach. It always passes the smell test. The way scientists test a method is to see if it can be replicated. In this case, the exact same system I used to find the names in Egypt, and they are extremely similar. We're going to show Egypt in the next slide so you can see how understandable the system is and how accurate the conclusions are. The bullets. 1 out of 7 provinces of Egypt were known so far. Only one, far south. Next bullet. The name before that location is a cognate, which, as you know, is the same name in 2 languages. The name before that particular province is again a word meaning. The name before that province is another cognate, and you repeat this process across the entire Bible. That is how simple these names are, and that is how I found every name in the Bible. And now I will show you examples from Egypt so that you can be sure that these names and conclusions are accurate. We are repeating the method and repeating the pattern in Egypt. Examples from Egypt. In the left center, I have typed Genesis 10 verses 13 through 14. Name 7 provinces of Egypt. The only one which was agreed upon and known up until now was province number 5. Patros means south. The Patros-im are the people of Patros, which is the Southland. The map on the right, this is Google Maps. It's just walking directions from Google Maps. So at the bottom center of the map, we have a number 5. Known, Patros-im, Patros equals south. Next to that, we see Theban necropolis. Thebes was the capital of Patros. The green is the Nile, and the blue dots are walking directions from Google Maps. Let us follow those up north to the X near the center of the map. Next to the X, we have the words Nephthys Temple. Back to the left, the list. Number 5, Patros-im. Patros equals south. That is a word meaning. Next is a cognate. Nephtachim is a cognate. Greek Nephthys, Hebrew Nephtich. So Greek ending is, Hebrew ending ich. I read the name Nephtachim. I looked at a website and a resource called McClintock and Strong's Biblical Cyclopedia. I recommend it more than any other source. McClintock and Strong are the greatest Bible researchers, and I have stood on their shoulders more than any other in my process. They had already concluded that Nephthys was Nephtachim. So did the researcher Samuel Bochart, who made an atlas of the Bible in 1651. So McClintock, Strong, Bochart, and I immediately see Nephtachim and think Nephthys. We are so correct. There was a great Nephthys temple at a place called Sapir Meru. When you look at its location on the map today, it is a dividing line. The Bible was written in Greek 2250 BC. Even today, this exact location is a dividing line between present governorates of Egypt, but that is not the only one. Back to the left. 5, Patros meaning south. 4, Nephtachim, cognate. Nephthys. 3. Meaning, Lahabim. I looked up the meaning of this word. I do not speak Hebrew or Aramaic, Arabic or Greek. Lahab means knife. Ancient Egypt was divided into two halves, Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. Each of those halves had administrative districts called nomes. There were 42. The exact location where Upper and Lower Egypt were divided is called the knife nome. On one side of the Great Dividing Line is the knife nome, on the other side is the great city of Egypt, Memphis. So the very specific location of the knife nome is today a dividing line between governorates of Egypt, and 2250 BC was the dividing line of Upper and Lower Egypt. That is how accurate and how timeless the tradition of each of these names in the Bible are. On the other side of the knife nome, next we have province 2. So we go from a meaning Patros south, cognate Nephtachi Nephthys. Meaning Lahab knife, cognate Onamim. On is the sacred city of Egypt. This is where Joseph is married in Genesis. Onam is the province surrounding On, and the Onamim are the people of that province. As you can see, On is just north of Memphis. In between them is modern Cairo. This has been the capital district of Egypt for thousands of years. That is the meaning of the Onamim. And that is how the entire process of identifying the Bible and all of the places within it are repeated. And you can see on the map today that these very important lines from over 2,000 years ago are very important lines today, because the biblical region is the heartland of tradition. These 5 names which I have explained in this video have been missing for centuries, if not over 1,000 years, potentially 2,000 years. No one has ever mapped these names which I am showing you right now, that being Oats, Gater, Lahab, Nephtech, and Onamim. They have all been missing, and you can see how easy they are to understand. I have mapped hundreds of names which have been missing up until now, and they are all understandable for anyone. And so, I am raising funds to complete the Arpachshad Atlas. I have demonstration maps of every name in Genesis and the Exodus route already made. I simply need to pay a cartographer to do a great job. Anyone who purchases a map which I have available today or donates to my GoFundMe, I will send you the complete atlas at no additional cost for being a friend of the project and helping everyone to be able to see the complete atlas of Genesis for the first time ever. My Arpachshad Atlas gives the complete Genesis Atlas in 28 maps. A lost understanding of Bible verses now found. When you know where these locations are, you understand what is happening, why they are happening, all of the W's, the who, what, when, where, which have been missing. Some of these words for over 2,000 years, we have the completion of biblical meaning as a whole, as a result, and the relationship of the Bible with history. The take-home message is that linguistics, which I have been discussing so far, is only the beginning. I know that few people read the Bible for an ancient geography lesson, but geography is an introduction to a larger meaning. When we understand hundreds of names, including entire sets of names. For example, Ishmael. The sons of Ishmael had never been found before. Now they are found. We can understand their relationships to each other. Not just their relationships to each other. Their relationships to Edom, that is Esau. their relationships to all of the places around them. Everything is connected. And so we have a larger picture which emerges when we have the entire atlas, which involves also historical migrations and archaeological sites which had never been found before. I happen to know where 4 Bronze Age cities, which I have been looking at on Google Maps for a year and a half, and I have shown to fellow geographers who agree, they look exactly like the tells, the ancient city mounds, next to them, but they are covered in soil because they have not yet been dug. That is what you can look forward to. Now, the big question everyone has is, do I understand the Bible? Everything I think today about the Bible, is it correct? Who knows the accurate story? Anyone can understand the Bible. I began this research because I knew I did not understand the Bible. There were too many missing words, too many missing details. I now have hundreds more details. This is the start to understanding the Bible. Now, this is false. People tell you, oh, we can never understand the Bible. No one can understand the Bible. That is not true. People who wrote the Bible down had a strong understanding of the Bible, which they received from the people before them, who related the Bible to them. We can understand the Bible. The Atlas, which I offer to you, the understanding which I offer to you, includes the maps listed at the bottom of this slide. They are too numerous to name. And now, if you wish to be a friend of this project, I'm going to give you 3 links that I hope you will take a look at. These hundreds of names, this expanded understanding of the Bible, which I have worked over 3,000 hours on, is close to completion. As I say, I have demo maps. I'm extremely close to being able to publish this atlas. Now, uh, this all came about because, like so many people, when COVID hit, I was terminated from my job. So many people were terminated from their jobs, and that afforded me the time to research something that I cared about. And I only wanted to find 2 locations, but in order to find those locations, I had to find dozens more, and by that point, I knew how to find the locations of what turned out to be roughly 700 missing names. This first link, the map of Mitzrayim, that is biblical Egypt, I have for sale on Facebook Marketplace at this link. It's a beautiful map. I designed it myself. It's informative, it's affordable, and I'll tell you what, if you purchase this map today, when I complete my atlas, because I'm not trying to raise funds for me, I'm only trying to raise enough money to pay a cartographer to do the kind of job that you deserve, to see this atlas. And when you look at this map took a long time to create, and I loved every minute of it. It's a great map. I want to do the best possible job for you. If you think it could be improved, or anything that I do could be improved, tell me. I love feedback. I love constructive criticism. My bachelor's degree is in English. Everything I wrote was always criticized, and I appreciated it. My next link are Pakshat YouTube tutorials where I explain, so that you can be sure that I am telling you things that are accurate and that make sense and are understandable, and I'm transparent. I tell you how I do everything. This is a risky thing. I'm showing dozens of names which had never been found before. The dozens of names I'm showing are a lifetime's work. However, they're only a tip of an iceberg. I'm telling you, the dozens of names I'm giving you represent only about 4% of what I have to offer. And you don't have to take my word for it. Judge from the content. Last but not least, I have a GoFundMe page. My goal by the end of the calendar year 2022 is to have this atlas completed, available for purchase. Again, if you donate to the GoFundMe, I will send it to you at no additional charge. I'm doing this so that everyone can understand the Bible more fully. The complete Arpachshad Atlas. Thank you for viewing this presentation. Please feel free to comment. You can ask me questions if you're on the fence and you want to know more to make sure that this is money well spent, time well spent, and accurate information. Ask me. Thank you once again. My name is Daniel Adam Fink.